Okay, first off, again, I apologize for headphones and sunglasses, but in the lobby of my college would look really ridiculous staring at a computer of sunglasses. But anyway, before I get into this episode, I just want to say watch this episode before you do this vlog. Watch this vlog. And because, trust me, you're going to want to watch this. This is like the biggest episode of Gravity Falls, and also one of the best. This is Dipper and Mabel versus the future. And this episode sort of brings the sad reality to the fact that the show, for as much as we love it, and as awesome as the show is, much like summer, it will not last. It will, unfortunately, have to come to an end. And it looks like it's winding down. I mean, we're nearing the end of the season. A lot of the big mysteries are tied up, and summer's ending. And capping it off, Dipper and Mabel are having their birthday. And Mabel, of course, she's excited about growing up and becoming a teenager, and she decides, you know what? And she basically sets off to help plan, spend the week planning her birthday, but as she finds out, like, things aren't exactly going according to plan, like, the high school she wanted to have her birthday in, people are registering for classes, and high school turned out not that awesome. Mabel's friends have to go back to school. And at the same time, Dipper's having a wonderful day. He's helping Ford patch the rift. And, like, they're bonding, growing dangerously close together. And at the end of it, Dipper decides he doesn't want to go back. He wants to hang out with Ford and become his apprentice, which breaks Mabel's heart. I mean, Dipper's like the one thing she has that is constant. And the divide the show has been setting up so well for the past several episodes finally happens, and Mabel is just in tears. She runs out the door, and then Blendon disguised as Bill Cipher, which, if you couldn't see that coming, you clearly have not seen the story done enough. He basically tells Mabel, if you give me the fractured rift, I can make summer last forever. Mabel gives it to him, Blendon smashes it, and then Bill Cipher just opens the rift in between worlds, and all darkness pours out, and then it cuts, and then we have to wait who knows how many weeks for the next episode. And this was excuse my language, but this was a dippin' good episode. Like, oh my gosh, this is like, I mean, one of the writers posted on Tumblr that this is like their favorite episode, and I can see. I have to give it a bit more fun, maybe see it. But yeah, this is like definitely up there as like one of the best episodes. I mean, not just because it's a game-changing episode, but even though it's not the funniest episode, I mean, it's still the writing. Oh my gosh, like this show is freaking amazing. Like, I mean, and Rebels is like coming. I mean, we've had the Walking Dead premiere, which maybe I'll talk about that. I mean, I feel like everyone's saying what needs to say, but which was good. And then you have the Rebels season premiere, which, but yeah, I mean, this is no doubt like probably like the best thing I've seen on television so far in a while. Like, and not just because it was a game-changing episode. Like, even if the episode just ended without the rip being broken, this still would have been an amazing episode. Like, all the character moments are, because I think that's what Gravity Falls as well is. For as funny and silly as it is, there are such likable characters, and there's such a strong heart to this show that I'm willing to overlook the fact that, you know, how predictable the ending was, and the fact that, you know, I've seen this sort of argument cliche done before, but it is done so well with two characters that are really likable, and you can see where both of them are coming from. I mean, first off, let's talk about this message here. I mean, first off, Alex Hirsch, again, it's not just about summer ending, it's about the show, but I mean, just growing up in general is like a hard thing. I mean, like, you grow up and you're back. I mean, it's a really powerful message about appreciate where you are, staying young, and like, I mean, it's heavy stuff. I mean, I don't okay, now, I didn't have the experience Mabel. I mean, I can so relate to like not summer ending and not wanting to go back to school. Not so much like high school. Like I was one. I feel like Doug and Rob, who if you don't watch their blogs, they're really good, are gonna so relate to this episode and how much because they did not like high school, but I didn't. I was one of the few people that enjoyed high school. Like there were a lot of I had a lot of good teachers. A lot of good extracurriculars I was involved in. But when I was in college, there was always that part of me that just wanted. There's that part of me. Some people want to get out there into the real world, and there, to some extent I did too. And when college ended and summer started up, it actually was kind of depressing because like there's that part of me that realized like growing up. I mean, I'm sure it's fine, but like you're you just work. I mean, you work long, hard hours, come home for a bit. I mean, like there's this certain innocence and fun that comes with youth that I feel like once I become an adult, I'm going to lose. Like, I don't know, in college I can stay up late, I can be busy in classes and clubs and stuff. And, like, there's a part of me that just wants to stay in college forever. So, like Mabel's talking about, she doesn't want summer to end. I can totally relate to it. Cause yeah, like I mean, this is like my last barrier to it. Sorry, this is like turning into like the ultimate. But you see, but again, like to bring it back, like there's this sense of enjoying your youth while you have it. Like you don't realize how special it is to me. I mean, I've always sort of known that. I mean, let's get back to the episode. So, I think one way this was illustrated really well was the episode illustrated the concept really well of how amazing summer is. Like I remember in elementary school, I hated middle school, and I would always really looking forward to summer. It was fun. I felt really alive. Like I felt like I was like, because in middle school I got bullied a lot, and I didn't really have a lot of friends in middle school. Don't worry, I have friends now, but in middle school I really didn't have a lot of friends, and I was bullied a lot. So summer camp was like one of the few times where I was with people who I was really good friends with. I had, like, they made me feel good about myself and I didn't have to worry about bullying. And this show kind of very nicely showed the contrast of how, how you're this, about how summer brings out a lot of your wonderful qualities and that aren't present in school. Like, again, like Wendy, who's been like this really cool character on the show, like a fun, energetic character. And then she goes back to high school and we see she's like the loser, she's bullied, she's done. And there was that moment where I just felt there. And yeah, I mean, part of this episode was just depressing. I mean, just seeing summer wind down, people having to go back to lives like Candy and Grenda, the fact that they're going to have to leave and go. Like, for some people, like, summer ends earlier because you have, like, band camp. Although band camp, for me, was kind of fun. But, yeah, I mean, it was just depressing. I mean, this is essentially what... I mean, Edda and Eddie tried to do an episode like this where they had summer end, and had them go back to school. But I think Alex Surf is doing the smart thing of ending the show with summer. Actually, the last episode of Edda and Eddie, originally... before Cartoon Network forced him, because he was going to have a few of them becoming old and stuff. And, sorry, I say and a lot, though. Yeah. So, there's so much heart here that I think that's really good. And the fact that we're ending with summer is really good. I mean, I swear, if they do a season 3 where Dipper and Mabel are in school, I just... And also, we're not going to be seeing... I don't think we're going to see Dipper and Mabel's parents, so, yeah, probably not going to see. Yeah, I mean, everything about that whole growing up thing was so well done that you could have honestly... That even if you took out the bigger story, even if you took out Bill Cipher and the crazy zaniness, this would still have been an amazing episode. Again, is how good this show is. It's able to create a really good episode that stands on its own, that even if it's not moving the bigger story forward, you won't care. And Mabel conveys that wonderfully. I mean, like, there are some real tear jerkers here. Like, anytime, like, as you see Maple get destroyed, as you ultimately know that they're going to be divided, I mean, they set that up so well. I mean, like, in the mid-season finale, we're like, we're never going to get, promise me you'll never divide, and they do split up, but once again, it's done really well in that they nicely set up where everyone's coming from. I mean, Mabel obviously does not want to grow up. She's a place where she needs Dipper, and while Dipper needs Mabel, he's also sort of torn because he does have this passion, which while it's something that is really a strength of his, it's also his weakness because he lets it control it, which I can sort of relate to that because I'm obsessed with movies, and there's sometimes my film obsession over like my personal life, so I can really relate to that. And it's also through Ford influencing him, and I like how Ford like isn't evil. Like he genuinely values Dipper. He's like the one person like who he connects with, and more importantly, like with the concept of Mabel being separated, like I think that also comes to the fact that Ford doesn't understand how much Mabel. Well, I think he understands, but I don't think he understands Stan. But the point is that Ford doesn't have the relationship with his sibling that Dipper has with his. So to him, being separated from your sibling is something he's grown used to. Like he was separated from his brother for so many years, and like he didn't feel anything, so he just assumes that Dipper can do it too. And we've kind of seen that because Ford's basically sort of stayed away from like everything. Like, and I feel like in the next episode, like Ford and Stan are gonna have to like come together at some point because they've been divided so long. But again, like going back as far as the Dungeons episode, like they've just done a lot to separate. To basically, it's sort of like Palpatine, where we're gonna put this one character with this other character who's gonna influence them a lot, and it's just going to negatively impact their lives. And I love how this is what undoes them. This is what it allows people. I mean, it would have been so easy to have them easily be duped or something, but I mean, the point is that Bill is able to come in because of this divide between Dipper and Mabel. I mean, this misunderstanding is this flaw, this personal weakness is what undoes them. It's not that they're tricked, it's just that, again, they're siblings, and Bill, and I love, and also it makes it even more personal because the threat comes within. Had that, and that Mabel willingly does it. Like, had this been, like, someone outside the Mystery Shack, had it been Gideon, had someone else done this, it would have meant it. But the fact that this is literally coming from the Dipper Mabel divide, I think just makes it all the more effective and all the more heart-wrenching. I mean, the whole time I had my hands over my mouth like, oh no. Because, yeah, it was so intense. But I mean, again, honestly, I think the character moments, like with growing up and Dipper and Mabel, like, breaking up, that was so well done that I feel like you could have just ended the episode with Mabel leaving the room. In fact, I thought that's where they were going for a bit until she was in the woods. I'm like, okay, Bill, but you could have just ended it with Mabel leaving, the door shutting, and then credits, and I would have just been like slow cut. But it ended with Bill, and it was so dark, so depressing, and such a intense cliffhanger. Like, I mean, I had my hands over my mouth all the time because I knew this was coming. I knew it was inevitable, and that it was going to happen right here, right now, and that, like, I just so did not want it to happen, but just knowing it happened. And if a show can just have me on the edge of my seat like that, it's doing something right. And I mean, I think there's some live action. The fact that a children's show at Disney XD is doing that, I think, really says something. And it's just a testament to how good of a show Gravity Falls is. And I mean, the only real downside to this is that season 2 of Rebels is starting up, and now I am like not excited for it at all because I'm just gonna be thinking about this cliffhanger, and I will so watch this episode again if I can. Like, I wish I had recorded my reaction to it. Like you should have seen me at the end. I was like, no, 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 no. Like Gravity Falls just gets so many good reactions out of me. Yeah, I cannot wait for the next episode. And like, I think the only downside is that they didn't announce like there's no consistent airing schedule to this show, so it could be. I mean, hopefully they'll air next week, but I mean, for all we know, it could be 2 weeks. It could be like 3 weeks. It could be a month. I swear, if they make us wait a freaking month for the next episode, I'll be like, Disney. I mean, I don't know if you watch Collider Movie Talk or Jedi Council, but John Campea rants about the airing schedule. Rebels. That's nothing. I mean, Rebels had a consistent airing schedule of like every week we got an episode. Then they had the mid-season hiatus. Then they came back. Then they aired a few more episodes. Then they had like a short episode, which should have kicked off season 2, but instead it just aired. But the point is that Rebels has a consistent airing schedule. It's well marketed. Like we know when each episode's coming. Gravity Falls, I have like no clue when a next new episode's gonna come, and it's a shame that the show's being like pushed around like this. And I really hope that it's consistent and we can keep this going while it's intense. Yeah, and cannot wait for the next episode. I mean, this is going to be a really intense final stretch of episodes. Do not want Gravity Falls to end, but I mean, if they're going to give us 2 seasons, I'd rather have it and be 2 really solid seasons. So yeah, what did you think of this episode of Gravity Falls? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Comment below and let me know. And as always, like, dislike, and subscribe. And this is JCR60. And let's cross our fingers that the next episode is next week. Until then, take care.